In this video, I'm going to show you how I built this fitting assembly to connect the air line coming out of my air compressor to this manifold I built. After that, I'll show you how I ran the air hose and how I connected it to the air compressor as well as the manifold, and how I ran the electric line from the compressor to the electrical panel. This pneumatic fitting assembly has a ball valve at the bottom to be used as a drip line to help remove condensation and collected water in the line. This entire manifold setup is built to provide cool, clean, and dry air that feeds out to 4 separate pressure-regulated lines to 4 separate areas of my shop. You can check out how I built this manifold in my other video, but for now, let's get started. I'm going to start with this 1/2-inch T-fitting in the vise. Then I'm installing a 90 onto it to create an air inlet port and an air exit port. For each fitting, I'm wrapping the male threads with a thread sealer tape. Then I'm putting a light coat of blue pipe dope sealant on them. After that, it gets tightened up. Keep in mind that once it's tightened, you can't spin it back or you could break the seal. And you definitely don't want to over tighten them, but they do take a lot of pressure to get them snug enough on there to be airtight. It's also important to get the correct angle during the final turns. Otherwise, you'll have to back it off, remove it, clean it all off, and start over again. Now we're installing the brass ball valve. Sometimes you need to reposition the piece in the vise to properly access what you need. This ball valve is at the bottom, so it can be used to open up the line and remove any water condensation buildup collected in either the flex hose or the beginning of the electric fan coil. Now that we've got it flipped back to the upright position in the vise, we're going to install the 1/2-inch barb fitting so we can connect the 3/4-inch flex hose. The one on the left will be for the air coming in, and the one on the right will be for the air going out to the manifold. This will be the first of our 4 drip lines built into this manifold setup. Just got to get this last piece tightened down, and we're all finished building this part. The bottom cleanout tube is just going on hand tight since it won't be under pressure. Perfect. Now we can open and close the ball valve so we can drain any buildup water or condensation in the line. Now time for the air line. It fits perfectly tucked into these vertical bump out channels of the corrugated metal walls behind the horizontal 2x4s. I'm using a 1/2-inch inside diameter 300 PSI rated rubber hose to run from the air compressor to the piece we just built. Now that we have the air line ran down, the compressor pushed back into place, and the power wire out of the way, we're going to move on to the manifold side. Just like the other side, this hose fits nicely in these corrugated metal bump out channels and slides right behind the 2x4s. This hose doesn't lay right on top of this 2x4, so I'm using another 2x4 underneath it to help lift it up and give the hose some room to have some nice sloping angles on either side. This will help limit kinks and avoid restricted airflow that would be caused by sharper 90-degree bends in this rubber hose. I'm using single hole straps and drywall screws to hold the hose into place. Now to connect it to the air compressor, I'm using a similar piece that I built to connect the air hose and create our first drip line in the system. For the manifold side, I already have everything pre-mounted and ready to go in this 3/4-inch piece of plywood. You can check out how I built the manifold in my other video. But for now, I'm just double checking to make sure everything's level and secure. Now it's time to install the piece we built in the beginning to connect the main air line from the air compressor to the manifold. I'm going to start with this right side rubber flex hose coming out of the electric fan cooler. I just cut it with really sharp scissors to the length I need, then slid it over the barbed fitting. Once it's all the way on the barb fitting, I use a hose clamp to tighten it down to make it airtight. I'm repeating the same process on the left side, measuring the air hose to length, cutting it, installing it on the barb fitting, and tightening it down to the hose clamp. The hose and pipes on this manifold are all being secured to the wood using Mineral-X straps. These straps have a single hole in the back to fasten them, then a right and left arm on either side that get nut and bolted together to clamp around the pipe or hose. As far as the electric goes, I ran the wire like I did the air hose, up the pole barn post, then along the studs to the panel, securing it with single hole straps. And there it is, finally done. Now I can finally use this manifold I built and have independently pressurized air lines fed throughout different areas of my shop. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos to see how I built this manifold, how I wired up the air compressor, and how I installed an automatic drain line for the compressor. And if you're interested in this kind of stuff, check out my channel. I have lots of other similar videos.